Okay, guys, welcome back. Okay, let's start. Before I start, any questions? Any questions? Okay. Okay, what we have covered yesterday, basically, we have covered basically the virtual networks. How can we create the virtual networks? And we also created these virtual networks, and did we created some not at peers, right? So we're going to do this one, and we're going to talk about first of all IP addresses. What are the IP addresses you need to use, and what is the ranges and everything. And then, by any way, did I cover anything about peering right yesterday? Yes or no? Did I connected two virtual networks yesterday?
Yeah, you showed something about virtual networks, but the peering, I don't think so.
Okay, fine. Just want because I. Okay, cool. Because I just teach it pairing in AWS, so I'm confused. That's why. Okay, cool. So what we are going to do is today's agenda is first thing is discuss about IP addressing, and second thing is discuss or configure VNet peering. Third one is connect VNets between regions. Okay, this is what we're going to test today. Now, the third step, right, connecting two VNets between the regions. For example, I have East US VNet 1 and West US VNet 1. In order to these two should communicate with each other, right? You need to have a virtual network gateway. So I already created one gateway, but I'm going to deploy one more because it will take at least half an hour to deploy, so that we can, meanwhile, we'll discuss other things. It will get deployed. Otherwise, we don't want to waste the time. So let me show you the steps how we can actually deploy it. I'm going to click on add, and I'm going to West US virtual gateway, VPN, cloud-based, basic, and we need to select this is for, okay, so this is showing East because I'm still in East. So let me change it to West US. Okay, so let me, and again, now I get West US. So what exactly it is doing is it is going to deploy an appliance which will be helping us to connect two VNets in different locations. Let me tell you, these are two different VNets in different locations. One is in East Coast of US, the other one is West Coast. Okay, so and it requires a public IP also. So I'm going to create one. Let's say PIP. Click on OK. And see, provisioning of virtual network gateway may take up to 45 minutes. So I'm going to click on create. So let it go. So it will take, meanwhile, as I said, half an hour. Meanwhile, first let's discuss about IP addressing. Yeah. So this is the IP addressing. Now, as we know, in the whole world, we have two types of IP addressing, which is IP version 4. The other one is IP version 6. Okay. Now, in IP version 4, the IP address is 32-bit. I know if you guys already know the IP addressing, but this introduction is for people who really don't know. So in IPv4, which is a 32-bit, the IP address will be between 2. So you take any IP, it should be in between this like this range. It doesn't matter. And IPv6 is something like 128-bit. It is very, very big. And we are not right now yet using it. Is not completely full-fledged using everywhere, but we can ignore this for right now. So we are going to put all our concentration on IPv4. Okay. Now the scientist or whoever it is who is managing this IP addresses divided this IP addressing into 5 classes. Okay. So if I put address classes, so these are the classes. Okay, let me open this. Now, if you see, you have a class A, B, C, D, and D. Now, if you see class A, it is something like starting 1 to 126, 255, 255, 255, and class B 128 to 191, class C 192 to 223, and D and E remaining, which we can ignore. Why? Because these are for multicast as well as future usage. So wherever you go and whatever the network you see, it should be between these three. Is it so? Let's check it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ping www.google.com. Okay. Now, if you see google.com, it is between starting with 172 and 217. Okay, that means it is in class B. Okay, let's try Facebook. It's 157. Again, it is falling under class B. Okay, let's try Amazon.in. Okay, it's falling under 52. That means it's going to class A. Okay, so what will happen? It doesn't matter which IP address you take, it will be between class A, B, and C. Now there is a problem with this one. So you have like almost 7 billion people on the planet. If one day everybody gets a laptop by someday, all these IP addresses will be exhausted easily. So that was being actually observed by earlier itself. So what they did is, okay, let's do one thing. We need to make sure that we should not exhaust these IP addresses. Let's remove some set of IP addresses so that they can be used internally only. Okay, that means, for example, if a company is having 1,000 systems, okay, so what they do is they'll give a set of IP which can be used internally only. That IP cannot be used outside. So what they did, that is a concept which has created a private IP. Now we have public IP and we have private IP. Now, what exactly private IP is? These private IPs are also called as non-routable IPs. Why? That means anywhere in the world on the internet, just like this, if I ping Google like this, those IP addresses cannot be used. So in class A, they removed a whole set of 10.x.x. That means all 10.x range is basically removed. Okay, that means that is why if you see your systems mostly running with 10 dot in the most of the companies, because it is internally used. Similarly, in class B, they used 172.16.x.x to 172.31.x.x. Okay, next is class C. It's 192.168.x.x. So if you see, that is why when you buy a new computer or good a modem, wireless modem, you always get IP address from 192, because that is configured like that. So all the big networks, right, all the big companies, big networks, they mostly use class A, either B. Normally in the home use, we use the class C. So this is the reason wherever you go, so you will see this IP addresses internally, and you can check anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter, anywhere in the world, no website will have starting with this IP. You can check. You can take my word for it. Okay, because these are private IPs, these are non-routable IPs. That is what we are going to do in here. So if I go to virtual networks in inside here, you see the East US VNet 1 I have created with 10.1 0.0/16, and in that one I have a subnets created for subnet 1, which is 10.1.1.0. Complete subnet is starting with 10 dot, so you can actually call it as a private net. Okay, now what is public then? Whatever is apart from these three ranges, it is called as public. So for example, let's take the virtual network gateways. Okay, I already deployed one, right? Let me select this. It is using a public IP, something like this. See, I'm going to paste it here. So this is a public IP used by my virtual gateway. Now if you see, it does not fall under 10 dot, it does not fall under 172, and it does not fall under 192. So this is a public IP. So similarly, we are going to deploy some servers which is also having a public IP. That means which are not part of this one. Now let me tell you, in Azure, when you deploy a machine, right, or Azure or AWS, as a matter of fact, any cloud, when you deploy a VM or virtual machine, each machine can have one private IP and one public IP. Why? See, private IP is for internal communication with other servers and applications such as AD or SQL or backup, like this. But public IP is for management. Means we can take a RDP or SSH for Linux servers using the public IP. Without public IP, we won't be able to communicate with this server. We won't be able to connect to this server. There is a ways to do that one using VPN and everything, but normally without the public IP, a server cannot be reached. Okay, so that is why. So we should be very aware of what is a public and private IP. So that is the reason we have the networks up and running using the private IP only. I'm not denying that you should use only 10 dot. See, you can also use 172, you can also use 192 also. It's your wish. But as a standard in most of the companies uses, I use 10 dot network. Okay, is it clear? Any question? No. Okay, let's do one thing now. Now we have two networks here, actually three networks here, right? So two are local networks, means belong to one region. You see East US and East US, and you have one more network which is in West US. Now the plan is we're going to put three different servers. Okay, three different servers in three locations: East VNet 1, VNet 2, and West VNet 1. And the requirement is we should be able to communicate with each other. Okay, let's start with VNet 1 and VNet 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy two Linux machines, one on each VNet. So let's go ahead and do that one. So I'm going to create a virtual machine, Ubuntu server. Select this, create. I'm going to say East, or I'll put like, okay, East VNet 1 hyphen server 1, or simply I'll put VNet 1 server 1 and give username and password. Use existing. Yes, it's in East US. Click on OK. View all and come down. You should be able to see something like here, B1 MS standard. You try to use as much as Linux can run easily with 1 CPU and 2 GB RAM. So you can choose this one. But if you're planning to go for Windows, I suggest you to B2S or B2 MS. So either 4 gigs or 8 gigs. But I suggest you go for Windows 2016. Anyway, I'll show it to you, no issues. So select this. Now high availability will come to that later. East US 1, subnet 1. Yes, here we already created a network security group yesterday, which is web server. Select that. Don't worry about all these things. Once we go for virtual machines, I'll explain everything. Yeah, but right now we are dealing with only networks. Click on OK. Now, how can I make things very easy? Basically, can I take a template of this one, deploy the same machine, because I'm just changing it to other subnet. Yeah, so you can actually click on download parameters here, and then you can do that one. But I don't want to cover this right now because we have a separate session for ARM templates, Azure Resource Manager templates. So for right now, I'm going to do it manual. Once we go into deep into it, I'll explain how you deploy the ARM templates. Okay, create it. So this is getting deployed. Very good. So let's create one more, this time in VNet 2. Select. Okay, good. Okay, good. Click on OK. Again, view all. I use the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to select the VNet 2, not the VNet 1. So VNet 2, subnet is fine. Again, I'm going to select the same security group. So I'm going to remaining everything defaults. Click on OK. And create. Good. So right now, how many deployments we are getting? We are actually getting 3 deployments. One deployment is for a gateway and 2 for servers. Okay. Now let's understand. Let's create a picture. Try to understand what exactly we are trying to do. See, we have 3 networks. Okay. Now this is east-vnet 1, and this is east-vnet 2, and this is west-vnet 1. Right now, I just placed 2 servers here. Right, I just placed one server here, the other Linux server here. Right now, what you need to understand is what is the IP addressing we are using here. So the IP address space we are using is, I think it was 10.1.0.0/16, and this should be, I think, 10.2.0.0/16. I think that is what I think. So let's verify it. Virtual networks, and it's, yeah, sorry, 10.3. Okay. Okay, see, by default, these 2 servers, right, which are actually located here, these 2 cannot communicate. So the cross VNet communication is by default is not established. You need to establish this environment. That is why we call it as peering. Okay, we can call it as peering. So once you establish the peering, automatically the routes will be propagated and both can reach to each other. Now, what is the catch? Catch is this peering connections will only work in a given region, same region, I mean. That means it is only works in East US. You can't really have a peer connection between 2 different VNets in a different regions, like West and East here. It won't work. That is why we need to have a VPN connection actually. That is the reason I'm deploying a gateway here, virtual gateway here, and I'm creating a virtual gateway here. So what will happen once I established a virtual gateway, then obviously I'm going to put one more server here and they should be able to communicate with each other. So what you need to understand, this is peering, this is VPN. That is the major difference. Okay, clear? Now another important thing. So once the VPN is established and this is connected, can this server can ping this server? Yes, it can ping. Okay, it can ping. Now here is the catch, which I'm going to tell you. Imagine I have one more server, one more VNet I'm going to create. Let me do like this, little bit up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new VNet. Just put like it here, and I'm going to call it as the IP addressing as 10.5.0.0/16, and imagine this is basically VNet 5. Just imagine like that. Okay, hypothetically, we're not going to create it, but I just want to tell you why I'm doing this. East-VNet 5. Now imagine I'm going to create a peering something like this. So from VNet 1 to VNet 2, I'm going to create a peering. Okay, similarly, I'm going to create a peering between VNet 2 to VNet 5 again. Okay, now if somebody asked me, since it is both are interconnected, can ping this one? I mean, VNet 5 can ping VNet 1 machine and vice versa? No. That means the expectation is, you are thinking first the packet will go here, from there it will go here. No, if this is a process, this is called as a transit. So for example, imagine you are going from here to Mumbai to or Delhi to USA, right? So obviously there is a mid stop, right? Somewhere like in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, wherever it is. Okay, in Gulf somewhere. So what is the Gulf doing there? It is a transit. You are changing the planes, right? That's called transit. Yeah, we call it as transit flight. Same here. So it can't go like this. So peer connections are one-to-one connections. Remember that. Peer connections are one-to-one connections. It cannot transit. So if VNet 5 want to communicate with VNet 1, what is the scenario then? The scenario is it needs to establish a one more peer between like this. Okay, then it will work. Apart from that, it cannot go through the VNet 2. Now again, don't get confused here. One more thing. Now you know that I'm having a gateway here. I'm having one gateway here, and I also having one gateway here. Okay, let me bring this up. Okay, so I'm having one more gateway here. Okay, now, and I'm establishing a VPN between these two. Come on. It's a VPN between these two. Now, so is it possible for VNet 5 and VNet 2 can send the traffic through VNet 1 and talk to the machine which is on the other location? Little confusing, but what I'm trying to say is, can this go through like this and connect to the server? This is also can go through like this and talk to the server. Okay, yes, it is possible. Transit is allowed in virtual gateways. Okay, transit is allowed in virtual gateways, but not allowed in a single region like this. Okay, am I clear, guys? You understand, right, what I'm trying to convey?
Yes.
Okay, guys, Anuj, Mansoor. Cool. That is what we are going to deploy. So
I have one
yeah,
question.
yeah.
So you said basically what you said is within the region, if we have two virtual networks, we can connect them by pairing.
Yes.
And if it is not within the region, in that case, we need to have
A VPN.
Yeah,
VPN
VPN
using virtual gateways.
Using virtual gateways.
Yeah.
Why it is if you are deploying in two different regions, why it is it cannot be created by peering?
It's by design.
Okay.
It's by design.
Okay.
Because
that
see, we should
specifically for Azure only, or it is everywhere it is true?
Okay, so now if you take AWS, first of all, in AWS earlier, they don't even concept of connecting two different regions. If you want to do that way, there is a lot of things. First, you need to connect to your data center. Through your data center, you need to route it. For example, imagine in AWS earlier, you have one network in India and one network in US. You can't directly connect to each other. Basically, there is a third-party ways, but you can't simply connect like this. You need to route through. Imagine if your office, through your office, you need to route it. Imagine your office in USA, India, or UK. Through your office, it will go there traffic. But recently, after seeing this, Azure is giving this chance. They implemented called as peering between the sites, between the regions. They have recently implemented, like last November, it came into picture. So earlier it was not even there with AWS, but it is there for here. That's why. See what will happen. Peering, if you see, peering is very easy because it is in a single data center. They might be sharing the same switch or router or rack also, right? It is very easy. But it is something like two different regions. You are actually in a different region totally. It is a different network, different switches, routers, and obviously there should have some sort of communication. So they're establishing like that. They can't simply open the network because it can cause security breaches also, right? Like, they can't make it as open network. It's not recommended. That's why whoever is required, because everybody don't require this architecture. Whoever is required, they can deploy it and use it. In other clouds, AWS, it's not there. It's recently implemented. Clear?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Now, first is we'll check the normal peering. That means we already deployed two machines, right? One in VNet 1, the other one is VNet 2. Let's try to log into that one and do something. Yeah. So let's go to virtual machines. So what I have here is VNet server 1. So if you see this, every server is assigned with a public IP, because without this public IP, I can't log in. But it is definitely, if I go to networking, every server will also be assigned with a private IP. See 10.1.1.4. But if I go to here, this will be 10.3 basically. So networking 10.3.1.4. But it should also have the public IP, right? Right. So let's log in. Okay, this is server 1. Let's log into server 2. I may give a mistake here. Ooh. Okay. Okay, we are in server 2. So from server 1, let's ping the other server. Ping 10.3.1.4. If you're not sure, type if config so 10.3.1.4. okay, I'm pinging 10.3.1.4. hit enter. Obviously it won't ping. Similarly, this one is ping 10.1.1.4. So it is expected, because two machines are in different networks and they should not ping. It is as expected, it is behaving. Now the point is we need to establish a peering connection between these two. That is what the expectation, right? So let's go to virtual networks. We need to go here, come here, peerings, add, say VNet 1 to VNet 2. Okay, virtual network is obviously. So if you select this, you can't really go ahead and basically select this. It won't work like that. Okay, even if you select the west, basically it won't work. So we select this one, and don't worry about these three traffic. These are not required right now because it's inside the region. We're going to use it for other region. Okay, so click on OK. Okay, VNet, it's added. Okay, how do I know? So I'll go here and I'll go here. It's initiated, not completed, because I need to do from vice versa, right? I need to go from VNet 2. I'm going to create the peering from this side to this side. So click on add. This time it is VNet 2 to VNet 1. Select it, enable, click on OK. And they should start pinging anytime. Let's see. Come on. I thought it should ping. So if you see connected, so it's not pinging. Why? See, it is connected. So good. And this is also, this side also should show connected. Basically, if I go to peerings, it should show connected. See, it's coming. See this. So it'll take little time, but it will ping. Okay. Now, for example, you really don't want to use this peering always. So what you can do, you can actually go basically and actually you can disable it. It should stop actually. Let me start. Server option show communication between these two. Save. Okay, it should stop at any given. See, this is already stopped. This will stop now. That's it. So you can actually, whenever you want, you can enable and start using it. Whenever it's not, you really don't want that one, you can disable it and keep it like that. Okay, this is called as,
in that case you can have one-way connection also.
You can disable it, that one. Yeah, that is also possible. Yes. Okay. Now, normally what I do is I can control using the firewall rules. Basically, source and destination is there, right? So why can you also use which ports? I just open this one. What will happen is, imagine this connection might be used by different applications, right? It's not like one. Imagine maybe one application does not need to have always on. Maybe this connection up and running. Maybe the other application might be requiring everything should be up and running. During that time, I can't temporarily disable it, right? So what I'll do is, instead of disabling and enabling from here, what I do is I use a firewall rule, security groups, and I'll control the traffic from there. I can do it that way. Okay, clear?
Yeah, hi, hello.
Yeah.
There's one question is, in a one single VNet, we can have a multiple VNet as well?
In a single VNet, multiple VNets. I didn't got the point.
Can we have a multiple VNets in a single VNet? Or we have a multiple subnets in a VNet?
You can have, in a VNet, you can only have subnets.
Okay, so how, if there are the multiple subnets, and how we can communicate between the subnet to subnet?
Subnet to subnet are default open.
Okay, so there is no peering is required in it.
No. See, once, say if you take a VNet 1, if you have 100 subnets in that one, they'll communicate by default. You don't need peer anything. See, this is required between two different VNets totally. Peering is required between two different VNets. If you have only one VNet, you might have one subnet or 100 subnets internally. They'll start communicating with each other. It's like our LAN. They'll start communicating. You need to have a peer connection if you want to communicate between two VNets. It is like two different VLANs.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, so what we have achieved now? So what we have achieved is we have connected this, and we have have a peer connection, and we have communicated with these two. Okay. Now, where exactly we use this one? That is the point, right? Okay. I technically I said, okay, we need to use this one, everything. So what we'll do is, normally in big environments, we can use as a security feature. So what we'll do is, I'll create a VNet, which is, I'll give it, name it as public VNet. Okay. I'll put as public VNet. So next, what I'll do is, I don't put any production workloads here. If I say production workloads, my database servers, application servers, DB servers, all the important servers, I'm not going to put anything in the public VNet. I'm going to put only the jump servers. Jump servers means management servers, antivirus servers, or patching servers. So like that. Only I'm going to put them here. Linux, Windows team, VMware team, all these things. Now, my production workloads, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create separate VNets like this. Imagine I have testing, test development, and QA, for example. Imagine this is testing-vnet. This is QA-vnet. And finally, this is prod-vnet. So what I'll do, I'll have an individual peering coming from this one, like this. So what exactly I'm going to achieve? So what will happen? My important servers are lying here, man. So I can't take a risk, right? So what I do, imagine I have my important servers are lying here. Behind the load balancer, or behind whatever it is there. So what will happen? I don't allow anyone to directly log into the servers, to management actually. See, don't worry about here again. Imagine if somebody want to log into to manage, they can't directly log in. First, they will log into this jump server. Since the peering is there, from there, I'm going to take the RDP or SSH of these servers and try to manage it. So this is a best practice, okay, they use in order to maintain security. So what will happen? Nobody can actually touch these servers directly. Nobody can log in from outside. Only from here they will log in. You can ask me what will happen for the internal communication. Because these are inside the VNet. These can communicate among each other, no issues. There is no restriction. But if somebody want to log in, they need to come like this and from here. So it will give you extra layer of security from you for your environment, so that nobody can actually simply, you don't need to open all the servers to internet. First, only a few servers, like we call as jump servers or bastion stations or management servers. You just open the network, and that too open to your office network. You can actually create source network is office network, so only they can log in, and from there they can take the control and start working on it. That is a best practice you need to use. Okay, clear?
What is the good practice? Whether we should have all these VNets paired, or does it give latency if you are having in different geolocations and connected through the virtual gateway?
It completely depending upon your application architecture. So imagine if you want to have 3-4 locations, and you want to span your application across the geolocations, then obviously you need to have this VNet virtual gateways and interconnect everything. So you don't have that much of latency, because in virtual gateway also you have like high performance gateways also. So if you have enough money in the pocket, you can actually you can spread across multiple regions and make your application more redundant. Okay, but the more redundant you want, obviously it will be the more costly. Yeah, if it is just like one location, right? So what you can do, you can having these 4-5 VNets, and you have the peer connections and manage it. Yeah.
Okay. One more thing, can we have more than one production servers? And if it is, how it can be connected? I mean, how you can balance the load?
You need to elaborate the question actually.
See, if you are having, like, you have given three separate servers, VNets, where
Mhm.
one is testing, one is QA, and one is production. Now,
Yes.
say in my production environment, I'm going to have a lot of load, and
Mhm.
I want to distribute it in multiple VNets.
No, 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 no. That's approach. That is not the way.
Okay.
See, VNet itself is very pretty big. You will get 65,000 IPs. Okay, and
Okay.
VNet is, imagine this might be in 10.1, this might be in 10.2, this might be in 10.3. Okay, so you have enough IPs in VNet and a lot of subnets also. Why you want to get a server's load here and here? Because these networks exist for having new environments, testing and QA environments, not to load balance, because whatever the load balance you can do here itself.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's fine. I was not asking in terms of the diagram which you have given. I was
Mhm.
saying, if is that can be the part where I can have more than one production VNets also. So if it is like one VNet is more than enough, that is fine.
Okay,
But
let me rephrase the question. So imagine you have East US and West US. You have two application servers in East US, two application servers in West US, and you want to load balance between two.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yes, that is possible.
yeah.
For that one, load balancer won't work. You need to use a traffic manager. We'll come to that one in future.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay, cool. So that's what about VNet peering. Let's see whether the great gateway is deployed. Excellent, the gateway is deployed. So if you see, Microsoft Virtual Gateway is deployed. So if I go to virtual network gateways here, okay, now I have one gateway for East US, one gate for West US. Before going and configuring anything, I'm going to put one more server in West US. Check it out whether it is reaching these two or not. Okay, let me cancel the ping. Okay, good. I'll go to virtual machines, deploy one more, add Ubuntu. This time I'm going to give vnet 3 hyphen west hyphen server. Okay, West US is fine. Click on OK. Okay, I'm going to use MB1 MS standard. VNet 1 is fine. Subnet. Okay, let me see. I don't have a security group. What I'll do is I just make it any. Yeah, any source, any destination, any. Okay, priority save. Click on OK. This is for temporary only, so I'm okay. I didn't change any name for security because this is a temporary setup. I'm going to delete it later, so click on OK. Okay, machine is getting deployed. Okay. Hey, see, there is a in West US looks like it was 1.3 rupees. When I'm in East Coast, it was 1.8 rupees in the West. Never thought like each state will have its own taxes. Okay, let it deploy. Okay, so meanwhile, what we'll do is we need to establish a connectivity between the virtual gateways, because what we are talking. So we are talking right now. We are done with this connection, by the way. We are done with this peering connection. This is done. Okay. Now we are going to talk about this one. So what do I have? I already let me delete a few things here which are not required to avoid the confusion, because again, what do I say, like okay. So let me delete this one because we know that this is not there. Okay, so we know that this is the existing environment. Now the plan is what I want you to prove is, first thing is this server should be able to ping this server once we connect the IPsec VPN between these two. After that, by default, this will won't be pingable. We need to do some configuration changes here, then it will be pingable. Okay, that's the plan. So let's see. I'm just wanting this machine should get deployed. Meanwhile, just request, like I know about Prabal and Pranav. So like I see Anirudh, Anuj, Mansoor, and a name called Yes. So if you like to continue the class from tomorrow also, can you please send me your email addresses, because I'm going to change the meeting ID, because from tomorrow it will be a different meeting ID. So if you want to continue, yeah.
Sure.
Come on. Anirudh, anyway, I think you have my email, but anyway, just put your email, Anirudh, since you said you want to continue, right? I have Prabal and Pranav, so no issues. Come on. Linux also this take this much of time in Azure. Because the reason I can go ahead and create the VPN connection, but I want to make you sure that it is not pingable first. Like I want to show it to you, and then I want to create it. That's why. Okay, done. So let's log in. Okay, the other two IP addresses are ping 10.1.1.4. I mean the east server 1. So if you see, it's not reachable. Yeah. So let's try to ping 10.3.1.4, which is in the VNet 2. Of course, it is not reachable. Yep. Now, if config, what is this IP? This is 10.2.1.4, which is West US. So let's try to ping from these two. From server 1, ping. That's obvious, it won't ping. And from here, which is VNet 2 server, it's not pinging. Now let's go ahead and create the connectivity. Okay, so virtual network gateway. First I'll go to the gateway here. Now we have connections. Okay, so don't worry about this. I was trying some VPN, so to my home actually. So I'm getting some error. Let me delete this. Okay, let's click on add. Now I'm saying this one east to west. So you have an option to have a VNet to VNet. That means what you are doing right now. The second one is IPsec VPN. That means if you want to connect from your on-premises to here. Third one is express route. Express route is something like your dedicated leased line connectivity. This cannot be done, by the way, so easily. So we select VNet to VNet. So our gateway, first virtual gateway is this one, and the second virtual gateway is West US. Select that. Now we need to give some password here. So I'm going to give India@123456789. This will be the password. Okay, click on OK. Come on. Okay, it's done. But if you see, it is basically showing as unknown or not connected. It's not be, it won't be a complete connection. Yeah. So now I need to create one more, this time from west to east. I'll come here, connections, add, this time west to east, same VNet to VNet. This time select East US, give the same password, 0, click on OK, and let's see what will happen. And I'll wait meanwhile. Once this is established at any given point of time, it should start pinging.
This
But
key
once,
need to be same.
obviously, right? It's an IPsec VPN, like it's like it should be same.
In case you have one more virtual network,
Mm-hmm. So you need
some
to create
other
one more. That's a different connection, right?
okay, so you'll be having one more gateway
Yes.
in your west also, and that as well.
It's a different connection. It's the same gateway, but it's a different connection. Now, if you see, only VNet server 1 is pinging. See, 10.2.1.4 it is pinging, and from the other side, it should only ping, not this one. This should only ping 10.1.1.4. See, that means what I'm trying to say is only these two are talking to each other, and this is not able to communicate with each other. I mean, this server is not able to reach. For that, we need to do some configurations, which I'm going to show it to you. Okay. Now let me stop this, and it is very much sure it is evident that it is not pinging 3. See, it's not pinging. Yeah, that means 3.1.4 is nothing but this server. Just let me put the IP here so it will be easy. 10.3.1.4. This is 10.1.1.4, and finally this one is 10.2.1.4. Okay, now what is happening? Just to make sure these two are reachable, but this is not able to reach this one. Okay, so I need to configure something. So I'll show you what to do that one. Now minimize everything. What I'm supposed to do is, first I'm going to go to virtual networks, and I'm going to go to East US, and I'm going to select the peer connections, and this is the peer, and it will say like, here you have an option, something called as use remote gateways. You need to check this option. So if you check this option, to use the remote gateway, the peer virtual network must be used. What exactly I'll say? So I'm telling VNet 2, which is, let me open the picture. I'm telling this is VNet 2. I'm configuring, this is the virtual gateway, right? I'm saying to this peer connection, this peer connection, use that gateway. I'm telling to VNet 2 connection, and VNet 1 connection, I need to allow to use that gateway. So let me show it to you. See, you need to carefully see this one. Let me cancel it again. I'm going to go to VNet 2, and VNet 2 to VNet 1 is the peering connection. I'm telling you use the remote gateway of the VNet 1. That is what I'm saying here, and save. Why? Okay, so what I need to do is, it won't work. Why? Because I need to enable here first, allow to use the remote gateway. So for that, I'll go here for the VNet 1. I see two things here. One is connecting to the other subnet, other region. This one is the peer connection with VNet 2. Okay, so I'll go to peer connections. Come on, peer connections. Open. Here I need to allow gateway transit. If I check this one, that means I'm allowing the machine, the networks which are peered to me, use this gateway. So let me click on save. Did somebody joined actually? Guys, somebody joined or using the phone? I can see Anuj. After Anuj, I can see like caller one. Who is this? Who is caller one?
I am through my phone.
Yeah, who is your
Pranav.
from through your Pranav? Okay, Pranav. Fine, fine, it's okay. Okay, got it. Okay, right. So this is done. So let me close and let me come here. Now this is important. So peerings, go here. Now I need to say use the remote gateways. Earlier I got error. Now I should not get any error. Let's see. Now it should start pinging. These two should start reaching out to each other. Let's see whether it really works or not. Come on. It will take its own sweet time. So let's wait. Yes. See, now you need to allow the local gateways, sorry, use the remote gateways and allow the gateway transit. So what will happen? Then obviously the communication will happen like this. This is how you have using a peer connection, you have a gateway, you can actually, if you have multiple things basically, so basically you have a peer connection, right? So you can basically go like this. Now here there is a problem. Okay, the problem is you cannot have this type of things with multiple networks. Basically I can't put one more network like this. Why? Because once you use the local gateways, use the remote gateways, you can't use for other. Okay, so it will be a little tough for to go ahead and use for multiple things. So what I can say like is sorry, my bad. You can actually use like this, and we can actually create one more peer like this, and you need to use the remote gateways. You need to go select that, use the remote gateways, and you need to allow the gateway transit, and you should go like this. Okay, so any questions here?
There was we have seen two options there. One was a transit, allow transit, and one was allow remote access. There was
Yes, the
third.
other one is right. I'm coming to that one. You are clear with what these two, right? First.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about the forwarded traffic. This is not anything related inside Azure. For imagine if you have an on-premises network, for example like this. So imagine you have your what I can say like your on-premises. On-prem network, okay, and if you want to connect to this one basically, and you can also put a virtual gateway here and you can connect like this, by the way. That means like similarly I can say like this. You can also have one more gateway, virtual gateway. You connect your virtual network from here. If you want to pass to like this, then this is coming from a different source. So if you go and see here, see that one, let me show it to you. What it exactly it will say is, okay, so allow forward traffic. If you press it, this settings allows the peer forwarded traffic into your virtual network, but in the brackets you see carefully, traffic not originating from inside the peer virtual network. It's a very confusing statement, but what it is saying is the setting allows peer forwarded. That means if some traffic is forwarded like this from different source to the peer, then I'll forward it to you. But doesn't mean that I put a new VNet here, I'll forward this like this. This is a transit, right? If I put a new VNet here and put a peer, and if you send the traffic like this, I already told you transit won't work, right? So for on-premises networks, it works. So what I'll do is I have a very good very good article which was been there. I'll share with you. You will get a better idea. I forgot the name, actually. It should be somewhere. Let me find it out and give it to you. So that's a beautiful way of saying basically how exactly you can configure on premises to here.
So,
But
Sri, in case, okay, yeah, please go ahead. After
yeah,
that,
that's it. Tell me. What is the question?
See, in case I have another VNet where you are having exactly this on-premise, maybe that is different VNet, which is in a altogether in a different region, and that is actually connected to East VNet 2 and connected through the gateway, right? Now,
Come
picture is
come again, please.
you have this VNet 1, East VNet 1 connected
Okay.
with VNet 1 through
Okay.
gateway, right?
Okay.
Say now I have one more virtual machine that is on a different virtual network that is neither in East nor in West US. It is in some other region itself, okay?
Okay.
And somehow that is connected with the East virtual network 2 through a gateway.
Okay. Virtual gateway. Okay.
Virtual gateway, it is connected with East VNet 2. So now in this case, VNet 2 is connected with this new machine. VNet 1, East VNet 1 is connected with the VNet 1, right? Now in this case, whether what will help me, whether I need to do a forwarding in between
No,
East
it's still a transit, right? It's still a transit. So what you are saying is, let me tell you like this.
Yeah.
Okay, you have somewhere in a different region basically.
Yes.
Okay, one more VNet, and you have a gateway here and a gateway here, and you have connected to this one. Okay, and you have a machine here.
Yeah.
Okay, now you want this machine should communicate through like this to this machine.
No, I need to
Which
connect
machine?
from this to 10.2.1.4 machine that is
This one.
in West VNet. Yeah.
So if you see like this, it is basically what you are doing. You are using two transit. You are using this one as a transit, this one as a transit, and going here.
Yeah.
It won't work. So as I said, right, what will happen? It might work until here. Okay, until here it will work, but from here to here it will ping. The moment you are asking to go here, basically you are actually doing a transit. It won't work like that. So instead of that one, you simply get done like this.
Okay.
That's
So
easy,
does
right?
it make any cost to create these gateways? I mean,
Yes,
every gateway okay, and usage
definitely.
also okay. So I was just thinking like if I can reduce the cost. Okay. That will be slow. That will be
Yeah,
slow
I
even.
got it. But what will happen is it will be at the back end. It will be virtual. Okay, Azure virtual gateway pricing. They changed it recently. Pricing of VPN gateway pricing. Yeah. So you see, if you have more bandwidth, I used basic. So somewhere like 2.3 rupees per hour for me. Yeah. So if you go for VPN gateway 3, hourly charge somewhere go to nearly with the GST with some 100 rupees. That means you are spending like 2,400 rupees per day because it should be always on, right? So
Yeah.
that goes to per day to them 24, like almost 1 lakh a month, near to. If you want more performance, so it's not advised to have too many. That's why you need to make sure that unless it is required to have your application in around the world, like different regions, that too maybe one or two applications will have that requirement, right? Why you want to deploy all the applications in all the regions for a fault tolerance? Not required. Maybe one or two critical applications. Remaining all applications, better you put in one location. So you can use the peerings and everything. You don't require to pay anything for the peering extra, all these things. The moment you are trying to spread across the regions, then you are actually increasing your cost.
Okay.
Yeah, clear, right?
Yeah, thanks.
Excellent. Any questions? Okay. Now, deleting all these things is a nightmare. Next thing. So what I do is I basically have a script for myself. So which I always use it. So if you see, get Azure first, it will delete the load balancers. And this is virtual gateway source. I just comment it out because I don't want to delete that earlier. So I had everything. Apart from that, whatever the commented, I don't want to create the resource groups, networks, and all these things. So apart from that, it will delete the storage account, starting with first load balancer, virtual gateways, after that VMs, after that disk, after that network interfaces, public IPs, after that snapshots, after that available everything. So how I'm going to run this? Is it really work? So for that, I'm going to write PowerShell, right click, run with administrator, and I'm going to add Azure RM account. By default, this won't work for you because you need to install the plugins. I'm going to show you in the next class when we're talking about servers. Okay, it's logged in. Now, so I have this something called as Azure delete.ps1. Okay, only thing is I need to make sure I need to give the proper Azure training, the resource group name, which is Azure training, which I already gave, right? Let me confirm. So if you see overview, you should see Azure training is the resource group. Now let's execute the scripts. Let's see what will happen. Yeah. So I'll say Azure delete.ps1, hit enter. So instead of you going deleting all the machines like security groups, not security VMs, after that, say it's removing a resource west to east. So that means I think it was peer connections and everything. Even if you delete the machines, right? Again, there is a lot of things inside like disks, public IPs, interfaces, and everything. It's a hectic. So that's why I normally I use this script if someone want to clean up and everything. So what I do, I execute the script, have a go out and do some work and come back. By this time, it will be done. Okay, I'm going to share with this one. Now, I have email addresses, Anuj email address, Mansoor, Anirudh, okay. So, Mr. S, do you want to join tomorrow also? Because I don't have your email address to send. Hello. If we use remote gateway for different VNets, then we don't think we have a different VNets. Remote gateway for, we don't think it will have a load of multiple VNets. I didn't understand. If we use remote gateway won't work all the VNets. It will give error. So it will be only available for one VNet. So it won't work like that. Okay, guys. So let me tell you the price and everything, that total training. So this training will be happening for next 25 to 30 hours. So it will be like 1 month of training totally. So it will be targeting 75-533 implementing Azure solutions. Okay. So I'm going to send you the course curriculum. So, and the course fees will be 12,000. It's 12000. It's 12,000. And as initial, you need to pay 6,000 for me as an initial fee. And once we complete half of the course, like once we go for databases, then you need to pay the remaining. And what I'm going to do is, whoever has sent me the emails, I'm going to send you the new meeting ID as well as my account details. In fact, my wife account details, not my account details. So let me know once you transfer today or tomorrow, it is fine. So we can further continue. Any questions? I still don't know who is yes. Any questions,
Yeah, sounds
folks?
good.
Yeah. Okay. And whatever the email address I got it, I'm going to give access to the Google Drive. I'll upload this video and I'll give the access to the, so you guys can go ahead and see the video again for the practice and everything, because I'm very much sure you'll get a lot of errors while doing it.
So, Sri, did you store your last day's video also?
Yes, it is already there in the Google Drive. But I didn't give share access to anyone. I'm going to do it now because I just want to make sure who want to join, whom don't want to join. Right, that's the reason.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, just a quick one here. So, you have written this script to delete all the, resource
Yes.
services that you have made. So, what happens if we just delete the resource group?
Again, you need to go take a headache of creating VNets, security groups, all this. I don't want to do that. That's why.
Okay. Okay. We need to, then we will be doing it again, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why. So what will happen is initially you can do that, but if you see that the script is also having to delete the resource group and networks also. I just commented it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, if you don't have any questions, you can leave for the day because I need to record this deletion and then I upload the video.
Thank
By
you,
the
sir.
way, this is my number.
Thanks.
Sorry. If you want to reach out to me, following, I just kept in chat my number. So 9739712741, just in case. And email address will be at gmail.com. This is my email address. Okay, any questions? You can call me better rather than email, unless it is a lengthier conversation. Yeah. Bye, folks.
Yeah. Thanks for the session, Sri. Bye.
Yeah. See you. Yeah.